Hi everyone. Thank you for coming back to watch another video from my family and me. In today's video, I would like to take you along with me from before sunrise to harvest corn from our family's small cornfield. And after that, please come with me to the local countryside market, where I will sell the corn we harvested this morning. Right now, it is only around 4 o'clock in the morning. Outside, it is still completely dark. The sound of insects can be heard everywhere. The mountain air is cool and fresh, and there is still a light layer of mist hanging over the fields. While many people are still sleeping, my husband and I have already woken up and started preparing for another day of work. That is simply the life of a farmer. If we want to bring fresh food to the market, our work must begin long before the sun rises. Today, my husband and I are harvesting corn. These ears of corn are finally ready to be picked. If we want the corn to keep its natural sweetness and its fresh aroma, it must be harvested very early in the morning, while the leaves are still covered with dew. At that time, the kernels are fuller, sweeter, and much more fragrant after being boiled. This is something farmers like us have learned through many years of working with the land.
Có con tối trăng.
After finishing the harvest, we load all the corn onto our motorbike and quickly return home. Because the early morning hours are very important, the sooner the corn is boiled after harvesting, the more sweetness it keeps. People in my village love freshly harvested corn, so I always try to work as quickly as possible. As soon as I get home, I start preparing everything right away. First, I remove the parts that cannot be eaten. Then I peel away some of the older outer leaves. It may look like a simple job, but when you do it for hundreds of ears of corn, it takes a lot of time and effort. That is why the hands of farmers are often rough and callous, but we are used to it.
Gáo đỏ, gáo đỏ là hay lắm.
Anh ngồi nhặt cây vỏ cho này.
Thấu vào nấu đi. Làm trước. Để làm cho bắp cho cân.
After that, I wash the corn carefully. Each ear is rinsed several times to make sure it is clean and ready for cooking. Then I begin lighting the fire. The sound of burning wood crackles beneath the stove. Smoke slowly rises above the roof of our house. Scenes like this may no longer be common in many cities, but here in my countryside village, it is still part of everyday life. In our area, almost every household has a large cooking pot like this. My family has used this pot for many years. We use it to boil corn, cook food for our pigs, make traditional cakes, and prepare meals during family gatherings. It has become a familiar part of our daily life. As the water begins to boil, the golden ears of corn are placed into the pot. Soon, their sweet aroma starts spreading throughout the yard. It is a smell I have known since I was a little girl. Even now, whenever I smell freshly boiled corn, I feel comforted. It reminds me of home, simple, humble, and familiar. Once the corn is fully cooked, I place it into clean sacks and prepare to take it to the market. People in the countryside usually go to market very early. Some arrive just after sunrise. Others stop by before heading to work in the fields. If sellers arrive too late, many customers will already be gone, and there may be a lot of unsold food left. So every minute matters.
Anh ơi, ngô em anh ơi. Nó mang ngô cho ba để lấy làm gì?
Now I have arrived at the market. This is a small countryside market in the mountains. You know, in my village, going to the market is not only about buying and selling, it is also a chance for people to see each other. Many families here live separated by hills and mountains. Sometimes people only meet once a week on market day. So whenever they come to the market, they spend time asking about each other's lives. They ask how this year's crops are doing. They ask how the children are doing in school. They ask whether anyone in the family has been sick. Some people do not even buy very much, but they still enjoy coming to the market, just to meet friends and have a conversation for a little while. People here are also very careful about how they spend their money, because most of us are farmers, and farming income is never guaranteed. Some months are a little better when the harvest is good, but in other months, a bad season can leave us with almost no income at all. That is why, before buying anything, people usually think very carefully. A bundle of vegetables, a kilogram of meat, or even a few eggs are all purchased with careful consideration. I remember when I was a little girl. Every time my mother went to the market, she carried only a small amount of money in her pocket. Yet somehow, she could still buy enough food for the whole family. As I grew older, I finally understood why. It was not because things were cheap. It was because farmers learned how to live carefully and make every coin count. Even today, I still keep that same habit. The money I earn from selling corn today might be used to buy cooking oil, a little salt, some fish sauce, or perhaps I will save part of it for my children's school expenses. Many people think that small amounts of money do not matter. But for farming families, those small amounts often help support an entire household. Little by little, day by day, they become the things that keep a family moving forward. Sometimes after selling everything, I sit quietly and count the money I earned. Not because I'm wondering how much richer I have become, but because I feel happy knowing that today's hard work was appreciated by someone else. That feeling alone is enough to make me smile. What I love most about our countryside market is the sincerity of the people. Most of us have known each other for many years. The buyers know the sellers, and the sellers know the buyers. Sometimes we even know each other's children and grandchildren. It feels more like a community gathering than a marketplace. There are elderly women who come to the market only to buy 2 or 3 ears of corn. Yet they still stop and talk with me for a while. They ask about my family. They ask how this year's corn harvest has been. Simple conversations like these make the market feel warm and welcoming. I think, in the cities, people may have large supermarkets, modern buildings, and countless conveniences. But in small countryside markets like this, the most valuable thing is not what people buy. It is the connection between people, the kindness, the familiarity, and the feeling that no one is a stranger. That is one of the reasons I still enjoy bringing my crops to the market, not only because it helps earn a little extra income, but also because it gives me a chance to meet people, to listen to their stories, to share a few words, and to experience the slow and peaceful rhythm of life here in my hometown. As you can see, I keep my boiled corn warm inside this foam box so it stays fresh and delicious for customers. And if you are wondering why people often stop by my stall, it is because I always invite them to taste a piece of corn first. If they enjoy the flavor, they usually come back and buy some to take home.
Mua đi. Chị ơi mua nóng đi chị. Mua đi. Mua luộc đi. Mua nóng đi. Mua đi bác ơi. Mua đi anh. Vâng. Ô em vừa luộc xong nóng hổi. Vâng ạ.
Ngồi ngọt đi.
Đấy, bảo mở hàng thì không mở. Đổi luôn. 1 cân ngô đổi cân thịt nhá.
Ai cũng đi ăn ở dưới. Phần ngon hết rồi, phần không ngon để cho ai?
Sitting next to me is the wife of my husband's younger brother. Today, she is selling pineapples. The pineapples are very sweet, juicy, and fragrant. They were grown locally and are freshly harvested, and they are quite affordable too. Each pineapple costs only about 10,000 Vietnamese dong, which is less than 50 cents in US dollars.
Cái điện thoại của cô ấy nhà tí vỡ trên đây rồi mới đấy. Cái loại báo là cái loại xanh ấy.
Đấy. Mua ngô đi chị ơi. Chị ơi ngô ngọt nào. Mua công nhân đấy. Ăn nguồn tớ một ăn đây. Ăn nướng bắp cái này. Hai vợ chồng nó bốn bắp phải mua thứ này 3 bắp này nó đánh nhau. Nó đánh nhau để cái mẹ nó cho nó luộc. Chim nữa chứ. Này. Này chim
Được cứ gầm rồi dặm thôi.
Đấy, chim từ sáng lúc luộc thì nhìn thấy rồi, mẹ chim bếp rồi. Chim từ sáng thấy rồi, từ sáng luôn. Chị ơi ngô đi chị. 10.000 một cân chị ơi, ngô rau trắng. Này, chị bảo lại 90.000 một được phát rồi. Hai vợ chồng nó cũng người bên đấy con bập yoga, con mà nó ninh cả ninh xương. Gà quá rồi đó.
Vừa ăn chơi.
Cái này cũng 10.000 một túi à? Thế
Vâng.
cả mua cái này không phải được.
Thì đấy, mua cái này cũng được, 10.000 một túi.
Cái này 10.000 được mấy quả?
Được 3 bắp, to lắm. Cái này 10.000 chắc. Chị cứ cân lên đi, nó cũng to lắm. Chả biết được nữa. Tầm 4 bắp, 3 bắp, 4 bắp gì đấy, to thì 3 bắp, bé thì 4 bắp.
Cái này mấy cân rồi? 1 cân mốt.
Cái này nếu mà nhóm đường lửa thì nướng ăn mới ngon.
Đúng rồi, chị ơi, ngon lắm ấy.
This customer is trying to negotiate a lower price. Even though my corn is already very affordable at 3,000 Vietnamese dong per ear, which is about 12 cents in US dollars, she joked that the corn looked a little too mature and offered only 2,000 dong, around 8 cents. But I smiled and kept my price. In the end, she still bought the corn. That is just a normal and friendly part of shopping at a countryside market.
Bao nhiêu? 70 à? 70 à?
Không già đâu, vừa ngon. Đang ăn chưa ăn gì, 4 giờ dậy thì đấy. Ngồi đi chị. Ngồi đúng không?
Đây chả bao giờ mua đồ chợ đâu là thịt cũng thế, mổ để 20 cân thịt chả.
Mình uống được cái rượu lách là ngon hơn.
Mua đi. Đây này nóng hổi vừa luộc xong ra.
Nào được. Chấm tươi.
Có được cái gì đâu về cho con mổ.
Miếng này là 200.
Mua đi. Mua đi chị.
Ôi, lấy nhá. Chạy này. Đây, chạy. Cháu đi chơi cũng không làm.
Mua hộp đi. Nhìn nó cái gì? Hộp này gì đấy?
Không bán chị đâu mà sợ.
Bao tiền một quả? Đây không, bán
Quay tí cho vui. 9.000 chị ơi. 9 lạng 9.000. nướng rồi đấy chị. Đốt chặt bếp thì kiểu không có gì nữa.
Sáng sớm không mơ 4 giờ đi chạy vô chết.
Đấy, chị vẫn không bán thế thì không phải đấy. Chị ơi ngồi đi chị.
Ủa em cân đi vừa về xong. À thế à? 4 giờ hai ông bà làm 2 bao về. Bao thì đang luộc rồi. Vâng, chị chọn đi. Chả chọn à? Bắp nào cũng chắc.
Now, come and take a walk around the market with me. Let's see what people are selling here today. One of the things that always surprises visitors is how many different products can be found in a small countryside market like this. Some things are grown by local families, some are handmade, and some have been sold here for generations. Over here, these are silkworm pupa. Many people from other countries may find them unusual, or even a little frightening to look at. But here in Vietnam, they are considered a special food. Silkworms are best known for producing silk. The silk threads are used to make beautiful fabrics and traditional clothing. But after the silk has been collected, the pupae can also be used as food. Some people fry them, some steam them, and others cook them with herbs and spices. They have a rich flavor and contain a lot of protein. Because they are not always easy to find, their price can actually be quite high. For many families here, they are considered a special treat rather than an everyday meal. Just a few steps away, there is a woman selling fresh vegetables she picked early this morning. The vegetables still look fresh and green. Many of them were growing in the garden only a few hours ago. That is one thing I love about countryside markets. Most of the food travels only a short distance, sometimes from a backyard garden directly to the market. And if you look over here, there is a small stall selling knives and household tools. In rural areas, good tools are very important. Whether it is a kitchen knife, a farming blade, or something used around the house, people often stop to look carefully before choosing one. A good tool can be used for many years, so most farmers buy things like this very carefully. And over here, this is ice cream, a simple and very popular treat in the countryside. One ice cream costs only about 2,000 Vietnamese dong, which is around 8 cents in US dollars. And here is a traditional local cake. It is made from rice and carefully wrapped in banana leaves before being steamed. People here often enjoy it with sugarcane syrup, which gives it a sweet and rich flavor. It is a simple countryside food that many families have enjoyed for generations. As you can see, this market may not be large and it may not have luxury goods, but almost everything people need for daily life can be found here. Food, tools, clothing, and most importantly, the smiles and conversations shared between neighbors. That is what makes a countryside market feel special. As the morning goes on, the sun begins to climb higher and the heat becomes stronger. Earlier, I was sitting in a sunny spot, but it became too hot, so I moved into the shade. That is how countryside markets are. No air conditioning, no fancy comforts, just a small patch of shade beneath a tree or roof. And that already feels wonderful. Finally, after an entire morning, all of my corn is sold. Looking at the empty sacks, I feel very happy. Not because I earned a lot of money, but because the effort of waking up at 4 a.m. was worth it. And that simple feeling is one of the small joys in a farmer's life. Before ending today's video, I would like to sincerely thank all of you. Whether this is your first time watching, or your second, or third, or whether you quietly follow my family's journey, I truly appreciate your support. I do not make these videos to complain about life, and I am not trying to achieve anything extraordinary. I simply want to share the real life of a low-income farming family in Vietnam. A simple life, but one built on hard work, kindness, and love for family. Every like, every comment, every share means so much to me and my family. Sometimes I read kind messages from people all around the world, and it feels as if I have made many new friends, even though we have never met. My family and I would like to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. We hope to see you again in future videos. I wish all of you good health, many happy moments, and warm meals shared with the people you love. Thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.